All right, hey everyone, welcome to Keeping Up with the Chaldeans. We're here with Brandon Bahoura, the owner and operator, founder of Pita Way. As you can see in front of us, a lot of delicious food. It smells delicious, looks delicious, it's fresh, it's clean, and he's going to talk a little bit about how he got started and what the inspiration was behind Pita Way and the entire business model and how it works and everything about it. Let's go, Brandon.
Awesome. Well, first off, thanks for having me, guys.
Great to have you, buddy.
I appreciate being here, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to explain my story. And I mean, I couldn't have done this if I didn't have a passion for hospitality, serving people, and making delicious food.
Right.
Smells great.
Oh yeah.
For sure. I basically started in the food business when I was 12 years old. I started off as a busboy. Mm-hmm. I had a passion for work. I didn't like being home. I just wanted to get my hands on something, and anything I ever did since I was 12 years old, I always tried to be the best at it.
How old are you now?
I'm 34.
Oh, yeah.
When you started at 12, was it with a family business and a restaurant, or was it at home?
It was a family business.
Okay.
Started at Ernest Largo's.
Okay.
The one on Orchard Lake Road when it was around. It was a higher end Italian restaurant.
Sure.
Nice.
I worked as a little busboy wearing a little suit, running around, busting dishes. But I was always smiling. I was always a people person. Upper management would always come down to me and tell me, man, whatever you're going to do in the future, you're going to be awesome at it. No one works harder than you as a 12-year-old.
Wow.
It's huge.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Great
and it taught me a lot.
Yeah.
Great compliment from a family-owned business that understands the work ethic, and they were old school too, right?
Yeah, very old school.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got the opportunity to see how a full service higher end kitchen runs.
Yep.
And it gave me a lot of insight on what I wanted to do in the future.
Cool.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Pita Way, man. How did that get started?
So I just graduated from college from Oakland University with a degree in business.
Great.
I majored in marketing, and I finished college, started working for a company. I realized, working for a company really isn't for me. Went back to the family business.
What kind of company was it?
The first company I worked for was a telecommunications company called C Beyond.
See Beyond.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. They always did all these promotions on ZipRecruiters and Monster, and I ended up getting a job through them. I worked it for 3 months. I was literally cold calling businesses all around southeastern Michigan.
Yeah.
I was actually doing pretty good at it. I was first one to get some sales. I was out of the group that was hired in.
Yep.
And after 3 months, I just said, you know what, I just don't enjoy this.
Your Chaldean entrepreneurial spirit was tearing at you, and you said, I got to get out of here, and I got to do
aggressive.
something.
It was tearing at me. I went back temporarily to work for the family business. My family had a supermarket in Detroit on McNichols and Myers, Liberty Food Center.
Oh, boy.
Still going strong.
Your parents
It's been 40 years now. We've had that supermarket, and it's awesome.
And who's your parents?
My dad's Jamal Bahoura.
Okay.
My mom is Ikram. My parents are amazing people. They always pushed me to go harder. They pushed me to go through school. I didn't even want to go to college, but they pushed me through it. I got it done. I maintained a great GPA going through it, and couldn't have done any of this without the love of my parents and the support from my parents.
That's
Are you the oldest sibling?
I'm the oldest sibling with 3 younger sisters.
Nice. What do the 3 do? Do they follow in your footsteps, or do they have things?
We all have entrepreneurial spirits.
Sure. I know Chantel is a good friend of mine. We've been friends for a long time. She's over in Chicago right now.
She is in Chicago doing her thing.
Go Chantel.
Go Chantel and go Uber.
She's an attorney?
She's an attorney for Uber.
Wow.
That's great.
Yeah, she got a great opportunity. She loves it. I'm so proud of her, and it's pretty amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Chicago's the sister of Detroit, right?
Yeah.
So it's a good getaway. That's awesome. Good for her.
It gives me a reason to go to Chicago.
Good.
Maybe I'll have you tag along, JB.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as we bring a backpack of this food and
maybe
we'll go scouting for Pita Ways in Chicago.
There you go.
There you go.
So you're talking about scouting. You have more than one location, so you're in the growth mode right now?
Yep. We're definitely in the expansion mode. We just went from one store in Clarkston, Michigan that I opened in April 2010.
Okay.
We started our expansion with our next location in September of 2016, and that was in Auburn Hills.
Okay.
And we went from basically one store to 9 stores within 2 years during the expansion.
So what cities are you in? You said you're in Clarkston.
Clarkston is the hub. Clarkston is the mothership.
Okay.
We opened in Auburn Hills, White Lake, Fenton, Brighton, we're in Green Oak Township in Brighton, Lake Orion, New Hudson, Livonia, Warren, and we have plans for opening Troy in October.
Oh, nice.
So we'll be at 10 locations in October.
That's great.
And we also have our own distribution center, our commissary, where we distribute and manufacture all our own products that are delivered fresh to all of our stores.
That's a huge
amazing.
plus. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Where's that located?
That's located in Waterford.
Okay.
Since Clarkston's our busiest store, Waterford's a neighboring city, and being in Waterford, we kind of have access to go everywhere.
Yeah.
To me, it's a good central hub for right now.
So
Perfect.
I watched you in 2010 come to birth with this business.
You were one of my first customers. You really showed your support.
I've been there quite often, and I always enjoyed the food. Number one, it's clean. That was the best experience that I always had walking into your place. The facility, but the food was always clean and what have you. With your aggressive approach that you went from one location that I got to watch you grow into now having that many, did you franchise these out, or are these still under your guidance and everything, or your ownership?
So all the locations are corporate owned.
Okay.
And operated. They're all owned by myself.
Wow.
And
It's a lot of workload.
It's amazing.
Man.
There's pros and cons in any direction you go in a business.
Sure.
To me, my idol was Steve Ells. Steve Ells was the owner and founder of Chipotle.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, we've all seen what Chipotle's done.
Yeah.
He promoted a farm-to-table type of concept. He started in '92. He went from 1 store to 16 stores in 7 years, and he got people in the food industry to back him, and he grew Chipotle into thousands of locations in the stock market. I don't think he's on the board anymore, but he's what I want to be. He's my idol, and I'm going to try my best to do what I can do. I mean, he owned his own farms.
Did he write some books?
I don't think he's written any books. He's definitely had several interviews.
So you just follow him
I just follow Chipotle.
Oh, nice.
And I see what they're doing. Chipotle is a great concept, and I would love to take a fraction of whatever they're doing and bring our style food into the mix.
Right. So Chipotle is more of a kind of a line type of thing, you know, where you select your items. Is that kind of what you got going
Pita Way,
on?
We're a build your own type of
Wow,
style Mediterranean concept.
That's awesome. Now talk about a little bit about is there the flow goes, is it an appetizer, salad?
So basically, you come
protein.
in, you basically choose if you want to do a sandwich, which is a roll-up, or you could choose a queso
that called?
pita, a sandwich.
So these are
Sandwich.
sandwiches?
Yeah.
Sandwiches over here. So like we say, like,
Yeah,
I want a sandwich.
Yeah,
Sandwich.
That's a sandwich, exactly. So on the menu, it says sandwich. I've been doing that since I opened.
Nice.
We started the queso pitas 3 years into it.
These are the queso pitas?
Those are the queso pitas.
These are your signature?
That's a signature wrap from Pita Way. We use pita bread. We don't use tortilla bread. And I mean, we're Middle Eastern. We're gonna keep it.
And these are trademarked?
It's trademarked through the state of Michigan.
Wow.
So no one can use the name queso pita or sandwich.
Okay.
That's great.
We worked on the domestic for the country. They're actually still a work in progress. And
All right.
So basically, that's instead of a quesadilla,
it's
you changed it to a queso pita.
queso pita.
Queso
I like
pita.
that.
Yeah,
That's a great idea.
We normally recommend 2 different cheeses. We put cheddar and feta in there.
Okay.
Just a little sprinkle of feta because it gives it that flavor.
Yep.
And then we have 6 different meats to choose from, and we have falafels.
And are these pressed?
Those are pressed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, those are toasted, and when you dine in, you always get them nice and crispy, and they're so delicious, and people get hooked on them.
This is our first mouth-watering interview.
Right?
Yeah, as I said, is sitting here. Karen's was good. Karen's was
Karen's
dressing.
yeah.
It was overly healthy. Sometimes, I got to pack on a little bit of.
Right?
So-
and then so you have these here that are kind of sides, or?
So this right here is our platter. It's called a mini combo platter.
Yeah.
That's our most popular platter. There's 6 different meats in there, and then it's served over a large bed of
What
rice.
are the meats?
We have the chicken tawouk, which is our all-white grilled chicken. Our chicken shawarma, which is our all dark meat chicken.
Yep.
We have our chicken kufta.
Yep.
We have our beef kufta.
Yep.
And we have our gyro meat.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Along with
What
a
a
bed of rice
selection.
and
Along
some
with
of
a
the
bed of rice.
kishmish and lois, like we
Kishmish
used to
and
say.
los, exactly.
There you go.
That really makes it too. Even those are
Sure.
really expensive toppings. You won't see many Middle Eastern restaurants fast casual serving that because of how expensive the kishmish are, the raisins and the almonds.
I believe
those
it.
are the most expensive toppings on the table.
Right.
But we can't do without it. I think it adds a big value to our
Something
to our
in this
concept.
size and this average, how many people does this feed about? So if I was to come
This
in.
feeds 4 to 5 people.
Okay. And
Does
you're,
it come with a salad?
It comes with a salad. It comes with hummus. It comes with the vegetables and the dressings
Oh,
and the
wow.
pita bread and pita chips.
And it's how much?
$30. Everyday price is $30. If you follow us on Facebook or you get our mailers, we normally put coupons out there for $19.99 or $24.99.
That's average $6.50 a person to eat all
and
this.
you're eating quality products.
Right.
That's fantastic.
That I can attest. It's quality.
And then what is this here? This looks delicious.
That is actually our most popular seller. That's our
favorite.
chicken tawuk rice bowl.
Oh, wow.
It's our all-white grilled meat chicken. It's served over a bed of rice with almonds and raisins.
Is it yellow rice or white
Yellow rice on
Yellow
there.
rice. Wow,
We
delicious.
just added gurgur to our menu, which is a cracked wheat with vermicelli and a tomato
yeah.
base. It's actually been a huge hit, and it's vegan. So
nice.
it can appease to other people. The only down thing about the gurgur is that we're trying to find gluten-free options as much as possible.
Sure.
When you read our menu, we have we have notations for vegan, vegetarian, and gluten-free items because we know how much that means to people. We're also implementing certain keto bowls, and we're trying to stay with the times of keeping everything as you could eat healthy coming to Pita Way, or you can eat whatever you want coming to Pita Way.
How about allergens? You guys
We have
deal
an
with?
allergen sheet and everything.
Okay, great.
Yep.
That's awesome. So I used to walk into your place a lot of times, and I used to see the old Chaldean woman be in the back kitchen.
She helped start it. When
Yeah.
she was around, we were doing grape leaves. We were vegan grape leaves, vegan potato chops.
Yeah.
You know, the only things with those is just it's a lot of work.
A lot of prep.
And
A lot of prep
with
time.
one store, you could do it. When you're trying to grow into more stores and you're not doing it by hand, if you start using machines, it's not the same.
No.
Right.
And I like to maintain a high quality product, and if it doesn't meet my standards, we're just going to stick with what we got going on.
You know, I respect what you're saying in regards to using machinery and stuff like that. I like that by hand and what have you. Just a little tip in the past, I've heard another company had problem with that. Remember the salsa company, the garden salsa out of Ferndale?
Yeah.
That's real big in Costco and what have you. It's just going back to what he's saying, keeping it clean and cut right. They were using machines to cut the onions. They had to stop that because of the fact that it changed the flavor in the product. So what you're doing is you're keeping the authenticity by not using machines and keeping the quality of the product itself. Based out of Waterford, how hard is that to keep up and maintain that?
You know, it's all about the people behind you and the teams you're building. In my distribution center that's in Waterford, it's a 5,000 square foot facility. We have a team of about 15 guys over there.
Oh, wow.
Once I started this company, I basically went from being a single restaurant owner to owning my own logistics company, to owning my own distribution company. So now I'm doing everything in-house. But the cool thing about it is I have control of everything.
Yeah.
And if something isn't right, we'll know right away, and we can adjust right away. One of the biggest tricks about our food, which I should have brought some, we make fresh-made tabbouleh. You order tabbouleh, it's not sitting in a pan. We're going to make it right in front of you, super fresh.
Okay.
Wow.
That's huge.
That's huge. The parsley is chopped by hand.
I was going to say, so that makes it less soggy when you go to, in situations like when you get to get it, it's not soggy and burned out with all the liquids.
Exactly. We currently go through 40 cases of parsley a week. Those are 60 bundles in each case. We're going through 2,400 bundles of parsley per week being hand chopped. When you chop parsley in a machine, I'm sure you guys have tried it at other restaurants. Maybe you haven't even noticed, but when the metal that spins, that chops up the parsley, gives it an aftertaste, and the parsley doesn't last as long and it dies faster.
You could definitely tell, and only because you just mentioned it now. I didn't know what the difference was, but now that you mention it, I swear I can put my finger on
And understand.
who's using a machine and who's not.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
for real.
That's amazing.
It makes a huge difference in the quality of the product.
Wow.
When you started back then, you were 4 or 5 employees when I first was coming around you. You were running the show day in and day out, putting probably 60, 70 hours soft a weekend when I first saw you going up in the store. Now, how many people are you holding under your belt? How many staff members between all your locations and your kitchen?
One thing I'm really proud of is that I currently employ a little bit over 100 people.
Wow.
Awesome.
About 40 full-timers. And those full-timers I'm hoping they're Pita Way lifers that are going to grow with me. Sure. And in the future, I want to give all my lifers a stake in the company.
That's cool.
I want to keep it corporate as long as possible. I understand a lot of people push for franchising. Originally, when I opened Pita Way, I was thinking, I'm going to start this. I'm going to start franchising right away. It's a great concept. But if you've read articles about in the restaurant industry, you have a 90% fail rate if you start a new concept.
Right.
The first year is typically the toughest year starting a different concept.
Right.
The first year is when you saw me always in the restaurant putting in 100-hour weeks, working my tail off. I didn't take a paycheck for 4 months.
Sure.
Because I believed in what I was doing and I stuck through it.
Yep.
So
It's amazing.
I got to watch it. I witnessed it.
It's a great story.
Yeah, we started a business around the same time, 15 minutes apart from one another. When I found out he was over there, it was a relief because where my business is at, you really didn't have good choices like this.
Right.
So we got hooked. I got my staff hooked. I mean, it's sometimes to have, your standard American to give a shout out, to garlic and all the flavors we like. Sometimes they're a little, there, but then once they give it a shot,
Yep.
they were all for it. So,
And so are you constantly having to hire?
yeah, the hiring is obviously that's one of the biggest challenges in our industry in the state of Michigan and several other states is the labor. Minimum wage keeps going up.
Yep.
Your labor percentages keep getting higher. Your
Yep.
profits keep getting lower from it, but
Yep.
you find other ways where you could save money.
Right.
But labor is definitely the toughest thing. Luckily for us, most of our team members that come, for high schoolers, they stick with us through high school as they go
That's
away.
awesome.
Other people grow within our company, and I like to give people opportunities. General managers at Pita Way currently get a great salary. They get tip shares, they get profit shares, they get bonuses, and they also get free employee meals.
It's amazing. So if someone wants to join your team, how do they get get involved?
We like to promote from within our company. If someone wants to come join our team, I've had a general manager, a lady that came in, started at the bottom. She was 30 years old. Within 6 weeks, she was a salaried general manager running a store.
Wow. So if someone wanted to become an entry level individual, how would they go about doing that? How do they find you guys?
They can go on our website, apply through our website. They can come into a store, show that you're passionate about food and that this is something you care about and you want to grow with. It's all in your emotions. And if you really care about something and if you have a desire for success, you'll be great at it and you'll learn a lot faster than everybody else. If you come into something just kind of easing back, doing the bare minimum just so you can get your paycheck, it doesn't go unnoticed. Our management team is going to notice that, and you're not going to grow within the company. But for people that have a passion for food, for hospitality, that know our core values within our company and show those values in their work ethic, those are people that we take notice of and we give a bit more opportunities to.
I love the way that you've emphasized hospitality more than once. It's a big key to probably your growth that really goes unnoticed in a lot of businesses, but you seem to be putting a
big emphasis
on it.
It's not. There's different ways to look at hospitality. For me, hospitality is service and the overall experience.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
You can't have one without the other. The overall experience is the quality of the food, the quality of the product, how it's delivered, and the whole interaction from the customer entering the business to the customer leaving the business.
Yeah.
We always look for people that have that drive, that whatever's happening outside of work, when you come into work, you're a happy Pita Way employee. You're smiling, you're greeting customers properly, you're making sure that the food that they're getting meets the best quality standards. We always taught people, if you wouldn't eat it, don't serve it.
Right. And you're kind of preaching what every business owner out there wants all of his employees or her employees to be doing. And you also talked about your degree, or you went to school for marketing. How has that marketing education or the experience kind of opened up and got you launched into this kind of thing? How do you implement your marketing?
So marketing implementation and marketing strategies, branding strategies, they obviously play a crucial role into branding and running a successful company.
Love the logo. Love that shirt, man. It's awesome.
Is it pitaway.com?
Pitaway.com.
Pitaway.com.
Okay.
Yep. We have a huge social media presence for what it is. We do a lot of things on Facebook. But again, the brand recognition is what it's all about. And there's all different forms of marketing strategies. But at the end, sometimes marketing expenses can drive a restaurant out of business.
Oh, yeah.
Sure can.
So you can't just do everything.
Right.
What marketing really taught me is how to try things and how to make sure that I'm doing the right thing in the end. I like to try different marketing strategies.
And then, so how do you measure? How are you measuring being in the restaurant business? How do you measure, and on such a large scale?
Yeah.
How do you measure your marketing strategies?
Obviously, one of the main things with measuring marketing strategies is to have a marketing budget. If you don't have a marketing budget in the restaurant industry, you're in for a crazy ride.
Right.
But if you have a budget and you know how much you want to spend, and your spending is working and your revenues, that's basically how you measure if your marketing strategy is really working. It's all about budgeting and reaching your sales goals. If you're reaching your sales goals with the marketing you're doing, I believe you're doing the right thing and you should stick with it. But we're in times where social media and new technology,
a lot of it's free too.
Crazy.
Yeah, a lot of it is free where you don't have to spend money to get into it. What I did see come out of your place over the course of these years, and I heard it from within because you're so close to where you're a neighboring city to us as well too for my business, but you were doing a lot with the community. I seen a lot of stuff that you were doing with the schools when I'd walk into your place. I saw a lot of that stuff. So I think you marketed yourself well within the community too, which rapport then starts building off of that. And really, word of mouth is free, but it also can get you a big, one good voice is one ear, one bad voice is 10 bad ears. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely a true saying.
So you've held your standards up enough for the community to trust you. Where I've seen that, where as soon as I mention to them where you live, and they say, in this vicinity, Pontiac, do you ever try my buddies at Pita Way? Oh man, Brandon over there, so that's a good thing. And that came without having to put just the dollars. It came from like your hospitality that you gave out. So
when all the time I spent in there, when customers would come in, I wouldn't just get them through the line. I'd make sure they're having a great day. Yep. And if they weren't having a great day, I'll tell you what, this food I'm about to give you is about to put a smile on your face. I'm going to make sure it's super delicious. So you're going to have a better day after you walk out of here. People that come in on a regular, we train our management teams to remember their orders, to remember their names.
Wow.
And, it's growing in a community is what it's about. The locations that I have opened, they're in family communities. They're not in downtowns. They're not, but, hopefully maybe we can get to downtowns. We can get to college towns. But growing within communities, being big in the local high schools, the local schools, teachers are huge. We just started a huge program we're calling Merit Mondays, where we give all the local workers, doctors, nurses that work in the area that come in and show their badge, we give them 20% off their order.
Wow.
That's nice.
We give officers in uniforms half off.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you started with one location, and if these people that are listening or watching that have a single one-off type of restaurant, maybe it's not in the pita space, but if it's in the food space, how do you, or what advice would you have for them to kind of go from the 1 to the 2 to the 3 to the 10 to the to the commissary? And
the good thing, which is saying,
that's a great question.
We're not worried about competition like we were before.
I'm not worried. I want everyone to succeed.
The pie's big enough.
Yeah. Yep. It's big enough. I'll tell you what. How I created Pita Way was I went back to my college books. I opened up some of my college books and I started going through my notes. And one of the notes I found was 3 items to succeed in a business. Mm-hmm. And the 3 items that were on my notes were: plan accordingly.
Yep.
Set goals for yourself. And the main one that stuck out to me is whatever you decide to do, make sure you're passionate and you love what you do. Sure. If you love what you do and you have a desire for success, you're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that your business is going to succeed. For people that are just getting their first restaurant or even their first business going, don't give up. If you believe in what you're doing and you have a desire to succeed, sometimes it takes that 1, 2, 3 years of dedication, and then that 4th year, you're going to be flourishing.
That's a good thing.
That's awesome.
Now, just so I know already you stay busy, but just so I can explain to the viewers too, you do event setups, whether it's a birthday or communion. You get into any of that stuff where you can come in and do your catering there, and you have your tents and stuff to be able to do everything on the spot. I know you're getting booked up because I've seen you summer to summer be busy, especially with your catering jobs. How do people get in touch with you to use this? Do they go to your site, or are they getting a hold of Brandon, or they get a hold of the Clarkson location? Because people are going to want this after seeing what we've got here available.
I'm sure people would love to get a hold of Brandon, but they're not getting a hold of Brandon directly.
Yeah, no. Do you have like a catering event coordinator or somebody who deals with it, just to help the audience know how do they reach Pita Way to to put it into their backyard on an event.
Yeah, so surprisingly enough, if you were to call any Pita Way and say you wanted to set up a shawarma party event, I would actually probably end up calling you. I'd like to handle the larger orders to make sure everything goes right. And most of the people are Chaldeans that are reaching out to me, and I like dealing with my people. So I like to make sure my people are satisfied. I like to make sure everything's going right. And we started the tent parties out of customers requesting them. We kind of always listen to our customers and what their needs are, and we transition to giving them what we can do. A lot of people ask me, how come I haven't done a food truck yet?
Yeah, that's what I'd love to see, that Pita Way driving around the neighborhood.
We'll end up getting a food truck eventually, but I just feel that that's an expense that's going to be strictly for branding and marketing. A food truck in Michigan won't bring in enough revenue for me to really thrive off it, and I'd rather put my focus on brick and mortar locations that are year-round businesses.
Good. What are your hours usually? Like, what are you, Monday through Sunday? Or
all the stores are open Monday through Saturday, 10:30 to 9, and on Sunday from 11:30 to 8.
Okay.
Catering has been really, really huge for us. I mean, who wouldn't want to have a graduation party and offer your guests some healthy, feel-good food? We recently changed our tagline. Our new tagline is "Improving Moods with Creative Foods."
That's great.
Very cool.
This improved my mood this morning. Looking at all this right now. Yeah.
So you said something about a tent party. Do you have other themed catering?
So basically,
strategies?
Within our tent party, we bring 2 shawarma machines. We can do 3 shawarma machines. We can do gyros. We do beef shawarma, which we don't offer in our stores, but we do for shawarma parties because us Chaldeans, we love Gus.
So that's what a shawarma party is.
Yeah. And then we bring chicken shawarma
of food.
Yeah.
The one thing that's unique about our setup compared to other people's setup is that we also bring a deep fryer. We bring a variety of different toppings, and we bring our chefs that are going to build it for you. And it's basically you walk into a Pita Way, you walk up to the tent, and we're going to customize, and you're going to be able to build your own delicious queso pita sandwich, or we do rice bowls on spot, and we also bring a toaster.
Who the hell needs a food truck?
Yeah, you don't need a food truck. It's a lot of work loading and unloading. Lucky for us, we have our our truck that we have. We bring the products. We have a reefer in our truck that keeps everything nice and cool, and we serve a great product.
Cool. So I know you mentioned your family, your mom and your dad and your sisters, but is there anyone else out there that you want to thank, and that maybe someone that helped you along the way?
I mean, I couldn't do this without the Pita Way crew members and the team members that we know the future. We see the growth. And without my team members, without my managers, every Pita Way has a general manager that's the main guy in the store. When I was the main guy in Clarkston, that's what helped me grow the company. When you want to have your typical meal and you're used to something, you walk into a restaurant, you want consistency. Every store has a general manager, and without the general managers and them leading their teams, I like to build leaders. And I train these general managers to be leaders. And their stores can go a long way, and they can live a great life and a successful life being a general manager of a Pita Way.
Very cool.
Any mentor, anybody in your life that gives you that oomph all the time, or your go-to person that you want to give some credit to?
Other than my family, my immediate family has always supported me. Friends like you.
Thank you.
If it wasn't for my friends in the beginning that would always come visit me and show their support and tell people about Pita Way, I mean, I wouldn't be sitting where I am today.
That's great.
Very cool.
Great. Any advice to the next generation that's coming up after us, ones that haven't even stepped into this arena yet? Maybe they were thinking about it or anything. Maybe you can give them, since you're successful at what you're doing.
Always think outside the box. Take whatever you can learn from anybody and put your own vision and your own belief into it, and just work hard.
Patience.
Nothing comes fast. Social media can throw you off your game a little bit, so be careful with that.
Easy perception.
Patience is a key to success. Things will happen in time.
You took 7 years to get your next venture off, so that is definitely some patience you showed within that business. It's awesome. Anything else you want to maybe give tips to our people, or certain ways of eating one to the other, or anything that...
For our people who doesn't know how to open up a pita, stuff the meat in it, put some thirshi and some ranch in it, dip it in some hummus, The cool thing about our hummus is we do a ghost pepper hummus. We also have a Trinidad Scorpion and a Carolina Reaper hummus. Basically, it's a spice, and they're super hot, and I like super hot things.
Which is the hottest?
The Carolina Reaper is flaming.
Reaper.
Yeah.
I get it on I get it on that. He sprinkles it on that.
Yeah, you sprinkle.
Oh, wow.
You could sprinkle in your sandwich. You could sprinkle it in the
kidding me?
hummus. You could put it on anything. It's delicious.
amazing.
We don't charge extra for it, and it's awesome.
Well, thanks, man. Thanks for coming out,
All right,
brother.
thank you guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
That's awesome. You brought this food. It's great, and I'm glad to hear your success story and to be able to share it with the rest of the community.
Congratulations,
Awesome. Thanks
man.
for having me, guys.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. Cool. Time to eat.